Hi, I'm Anna the Wolfe, and I'm so glad you've joined me today for the 20th in a series of stories. I wanted to let you know that today's story begins a little tumultuously. As a matter of fact, you're hanging on for dear life to a piece of scrap lumber that's floating down a river, and you've got your hands and claws down into it, and you're holding on even with your teeth and your neck muscles. You're hanging on as you go floating down a rapidly moving river. There's been a huge deluge of water that's come down from somewhere up in the mountains and just washed you and your whole village out into the river, and everybody is gasping for air and holding on and floating by, and you see all manner of creatures. The snakes are kind of slithering on top of the water, and the ducks are even trying to surf over the wakes, and even the water creatures are having a hard time of it, let alone the land mammals. They're all just hanging on to each other's backs, and the ones that aren't on another one's backs are on a piece of whatever they could grab, some flotsam or jetsam that was going by. And eventually, you get to a point in the river where there's a big bend, and everybody gets tumbled out onto the shore in this rapid hook and just ends in a big pile there on the shore going, whoa, how did we get here? That was a crazy ride. There's absolutely nothing left of the prior existence we knew up in our village. What the heck was that about? And everybody's kind of trying to gather their bearings and get it together, and you're like shaking off, and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna go lay down over here on this nice bank of cushy soft grass and just rest. All the different creatures are slithering and crawling and hopping and trying to make their way out of the water as best as they can. And then there's Beaver. Beaver takes the one little piece of his last hut that he's clinging on to for dear life and pulls it out of the water and immediately stuffs it into the bank and starts grabbing every bit of debris that's coming by and stuffing it in. And this continues. You're like, Beaver, why don't you take a breather? That was rough. And Beaver was like, no. You know what's going to happen if I don't stop? If I stop at all for even a minute, it's going to be catastrophe. You and the other animals look at each other like, it's going to be catastrophe, or it just was a catastrophe? Well, I'm working. I don't have time to lollygag about on the shore with you. I'm like, okay, well, I'm needing a rest, so I'll watch you. Keep at it. And all day, all you can hear is dump, 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 dump. Zzz, you could even hear his leaf blower going. He was just busy constantly over there. And as the days went on, Beaver was still at it. And you asked him, hey man, take a break. Come join us. The herons are going fishing. We know you're a great fisherman. Come on, it's fishing day. Let's go. And Beaver said, do you know what happens to unprepared animals? Horrible things. Horrible things. I have to improve this hut immediately. Otherwise, something bad could happen. And everyone kind of shook their head and was like, carpe diem. Something bad can happen no matter where you are. Let's go fishing. And the rest of us all took off and went fishing, and then had a great feast on the shore of some roast trout. But not Beaver. We came back at nightfall, and although his hut was massive, you could still hear him in there sawing and drilling, and like, Beaver, what are you doing? You have to be finished by now. He's like, nope, I'm making safety hatches. I'm now making safety hatches all the way, all around the perimeter, just in case something were to happen. You have to be prepared, because things can get scary out there. And everyone's looking at each other like, yeah, they can get scary out there. We know. Beaver, you look tired. You know, when was the last time you took a break? He's like, yeah, if I were to take a break, well, I I think it's a lot just to think about taking a break. So taking a break might be too much. I've got stuff to do. You know what? You guys are wasting my time. Get going. Be gone. So he left. And sure enough, he was making safety hatches. And the next day we came by and invited him again. We were going to go do some water skiing. And the herons agreed that they were going to let us ride on them and hold on to their necks and just kind of ski along behind them. And it was going to be so much fun. And actually, it really was fun. Everybody had a great time except Beaver. We're like, Beaver, come on. Now what are you doing? He's like, I'm putting more mud in all the chinks. There's little tiny pieces of light that are getting in, so I don't quite feel safe enough. Like, that's going to happen. It's just sticks and mud, so you're going to see light sometimes. He's like, I don't want to see the light coming through. It makes me think about everything that's outside of me. Like, okay, Beaver. You let us know when you want to join us. We're going to go have a feast, and you are more than welcome to join us. And they all left, and you left with them. He just kind of tucked a little invitation in between his sticks and hoped that one day Beaver would accept your invitation. But right now, it was time for you to go party. And occasionally, you just have to accept that sometimes some of us don't feel safe. And that's okay too. He's still building his hut, hammering and sawing and leaf blowing. And the rest of us are going to a party. So I'll see you there. All right. Thanks so much for joining me today. And I've really enjoyed this story. And I hope that if you find yourself washed out of a river, that you find some great pals to go have a party with and enjoy good food and good times. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.